Hard work pays off, but it does not necessarily speak for itself. You have to be able to articulate your value because advocating for yourself starts with your communication skills. I know that feeling valued at work, it's a big deal right now. I mean, you can see it in all of the headlines and the conversations about quiet quitting and the surveys that show that most employees feel overworked and undervalued at a level that they have never experienced before. The frustration level ratchets up when you have conversations and you start detailing how much you do in any given day and what that looks like over the course of the week. And ultimately, you find yourself asking the question, don't they know how hard I work? And the answer is probably not. Here's the other part of that equation. Unless you have found a way to consistently articulate the value you bring, you are part of the reason you feel that way. Now, it would be lovely if your manager or boss or CEO or whoever you report to could recognize not only how hard you work, but draw like the direct correlation between that and the value to the company. And at a big level, they do. They know this. That's why you're employed. But we are all busy, including them. And so when we get busy, we tend to look to make sure that the job is done, but you don't look to see how the job got done or who made it possible. It really doesn't help you feel valued when all they're doing is seeing that the job got done. It's on you to draw that line for them and to make it painfully obvious. Now, I'm not saying that you need to brag, and I'm not saying you need to talk about every single thing, because I know that if you are like me, I have had many people in my life, including my well-meaning parents when I was young, say that people don't need to know how hard you're working or what you're doing. They were lying. That is not the way the world works today. And it is certainly not the way the world works when you have a performance review that also determines what your salary or your title will be for the next year. Here's what you need to be doing instead. There's 3 things I want you to consider. Number 1, if you just say that you work hard, there's not a dollar sign attached to that, not at least from a company perspective. So I want you to put a number next to your success. It's a truthful number, but if you have increased your productivity by 30%, if you've increased sales by 20%, give the number. I've increased sales 20% over last year, not just I got better. Here's the second thing I want you to do. If there's no dollar sign to put next to it, I still want you to be very specific with what your success is. You didn't just get the job done, you got the job done under a tight deadline, or you got the job done ahead of time, or maybe the job was, I got a new team member up to speed, so now we are more efficiently operating as a group. That has value to a company. And third, I want you to find a way to communicate this consistently, because if you are counting on your yearly performance reviews as the only conversation that talks about the job that you do, you are putting all of your eggs in one basket, and you are putting a lot of stress and pressure on one conversation. And I hate to break it to you, but you're not the only person that they are doing performance reviews with that day or that week. And as much as you would like to think that you stand out from the crowd, and I'm sure that you do, and sometimes, you know when you probably don't stand out from the crowd? When somebody's trying to get through a bazillion performance reviews. So here's what I want you to do. Make it easy by staying on their radar all year long. You should have a 1-sentence success statement ready to go at all times that relates to something that your manager or your boss or your CEO, whoever you're reporting to, can file away to know, wow, they're not just working hard, they're working hard in our best interest as a company. Because again, advocating for yourself and feeling valued, it really does come back to your communication skills. If you would like more ways to communicate more effectively, go to the website, talksportytome.com.